check.
Welcome into the live Cavemen Media Sports Show number 2. If you missed any of the show, make sure you go back to our Cavemen Media YouTube, and you can watch the whole show right there. All right, so what we're going to do today, we got Week 8 recap. We're going to talk Browns, Bengals, Steelers, all across the NFL. We got the playoff picture. We're going to give out some mid-season awards for the NFL season, and we're going to talk locks and Survivor update, along with a look ahead to Week 9 of the NFL season. So let's get started here with the Week 8 recap. We're going to start with my team, the Cleveland Browns. Browns follow the Raiders 6-16. 16-6, we lose. We're 5-3 on the season. If you told me at the beginning of the season the Browns are going to be 5-3 at the break, I'd said, okay, I'd live with it. 5-3, it's the best we've been since 2014. I'm good.
Are you worried at all?
Our playoff chances took a huge hit. We went from 83% chance to make the playoffs all the way down to a 54% chance to make the playoffs. If you told me we were going to be 5-3, I'd have said, okay, I see it. I did not have us losing to the Raiders, though. I thought we should have beat the Raiders. The conditions were tough. The drops. There's 5 drops throughout the game. 3 of them were crucial. 1 to Jarvis that should have been a touchdown. 1 to Njoku that was a 3rd and 8. He was wide open, hit both of his hands. He just dropped it. Could have went for 15 yards, and we'd have been in within their 30-yard line. So that was a huge drop. Kareem Hunt dropped a screen pass that would have went for 20 yards too. That ended that drive. So the drops were brutal to the team's offensive success. We only had 6 drives on the day. They controlled the ball for 38 minutes versus our 22 minutes. They had the ball for a whole extra quarter throughout the game. And like I said, those drops, Baker was 12 of 25 with 122 yards. If he completes those 5 drops, his completion percentage goes from 48 to 70%.
So I didn't catch the game. You're 6 points off a touchdown, missed field.
Okay. 2 field goals.
Yeah, no touchdowns.
No touchdowns. We missed a field goal late in the game that would have gave us the chance to call 3 timeouts after kicking away and get the ball back and score. The wind, the weather was absolutely brutal. It was hailing at one point. It was absolutely insane. But hey, we're in the playoff picture. We're 7th in the AFC. With the loss, though, we could drop all the way to 8th. So we'll talk playoff picture here soon. But it was just not. The loss, though, wasn't on Baker. That's something that I can come out of with a little bit of positivity. You can't put this one on Baker. You put it on
Connor. Should I break off the Baker cycle on him now?
What's the Baker cycle? I already saw it. I already saw it.
No, go ahead. I haven't seen it.
I sent it to Connor last night. This is my one in the bag when I want to piss Cody off for some unknown reason. So the Baker Mayfield cycle. It said, "We are here. Play like shit." The next cycle, criticized by media. It's like a evolution chart.
I've seen it. It's a circle.
The next one, underdog mentality. Next one, beat inferior opponent. On to the next one. Call out doubters. Back to play like shit.
Yep. That's what it's been. It's true. But I'm not saying Baker's.
I didn't watch it, so I can't attest.
All I'm saying is Baker didn't lose us this game. It was not his fault that we lost. He played okay. Obviously, 12 of 25, 122 yards isn't great, but in that weather and with those 5 drops, if you take away the drops, he's 17 for 25 with 200 yards and a touchdown. We probably win the game. If the Njoku's drop and the third quarter was just absolutely.
So let's hit that. Are you guys trading Njoku before the deadline?
I hope so. The deadline is
Tuesday.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, 4 o'clock.
Tomorrow, November 3rd. I hope we trade him for a linebacker or safety. We need something. But our defense is terrible. The Raiders ran all over us. Josh Jacobs had 128 yards on the ground. They did to us what we were supposed to do to them. So, like I said, the conditions, there was 3 touchdowns that were non-touchdown touchdowns that were under review. The one Nelson Aguilar got called back for not a touchdown. It might have been a touchdown. The one to Jarvis got called back. And then the one at the end to Hunter Renfrow I don't think was a touchdown, but we got screwed by the camera people because they didn't have a good angle. However, it is what it is. We took the L. We're 5-3 at the break. Titans, Bengals.
Who dey?
What a game.
What a game.
Surprise of the week. Titans 20, Bengals 31. It was a great game. Burrow, 26-37, 249 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Joey B's a man.
I hate it.
Joey
hate that
B
I like him.
is the man.
I hate that I like him.
No, but
and I hate that he plays for the Bengals because he's damn good. He's a damn good
for the
quarterback.
adversity he faced. I mean, you have not one single guy on the offensive line that started the first game of the season. I mean, to come out and they held it down. They ran for over 100. Burrow picked them apart. I mean, the defense didn't do great. They led over 200 rushing yards, but I mean, you have Derrick Henry on the opposite side, so really.
Yeah, Derrick Henry went for 112 and a touchdown. Tannehill, 18 of 30, 233, 2 touchdowns and a pick.
That was the biggest difference, though, is Tannehill. I mean, he's literally played elite the start of the year.
Tannehill's been great, but
and they didn't let him control the game like he does. So I mean, that was
T. Higgins and Joe Burrow connection for the next 10 years.
985, baby.
It's gonna be scary. And like you said, the 985, the Carson Palmer to Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco, and then now Burrow to Higgins.
985, baby. There's
Higgins 85 too.
Yep.
All I can say is I'm glad we've already played the Bengals twice and we came away with 2 wins. I do not want to play them because you guys are just gonna keep getting better and better.
So
and
I'm
you're
not.
Screw around and you're gonna win 6 games and you're gonna get yourself out of a top 10 draft pick. That's what you're gonna do.
There's 2 things guaranteed in life. You're gonna pay taxes, and 85 is always gonna be open, baby.
Hey,
I don't know. I'm not worried about the Bengals defense, but their offense is.
I mean, we
is
scored
scary.
30 points 3 weeks in a row now. So I mean, the offense is clicking. It's a matter of the defense being it. Joe Burrow can go score.
No,
It's a matter of the defense being able to reasonably limit what the other team is doing.
Absolutely. We got some comments here. We got a Dolphins fan, and obviously, Brooke, we see you. We're going to talk Steelers right now. We got Steelers, Ravens. The Steelers come away with the win.
Go Dolphins. Tua sucks.
28-24. Steelers top the Ravens. Steelers remain unbeaten. 7-0. Roethlisberger goes 21-32, buck 82, 2 touchdowns. So my thing with that, Matt, I want to get your impressions of the game, but I see 21 completions and only 182 yards. There's a lot of dinking and
So
dunking.
Ben has been throwing a lot of just screen passes, short 5-yard passes, and letting the receiver work from there. If you caught the end of the game, a lot of our win, I think, comes on Juju. He fought for first downs. It was a 2-yard pass, and he fought to get the extra 2 or 3 yards he needed for a first down. Again, weather not the best. It was kind of rainy.
I think it was shitty
cold.
pretty much.
It was bad.
Yeah.
The northeastern part of the United States yet. I mean, the Bengals, Connor and I were there. It was 30, 40 mile an hour winds.
I was at work, and the wind alone. I don't know how you guys sat out in that.
Yeah, I mean, of the 12 games played this season, I think at least 6 of the 12 were terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson, 13 of 28, 208 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, 2 fumbles.
Are we gonna hit the Lamar? We're gonna hit the Lamar talk we were just having.
So we were just talking about Lamar. I don't think we're seeing obviously the end of Lamar.
I think the end of Lamar being so dominant.
Lamar's gonna be there for a long time. I don't think he wins another MVP. I think Lamar Jackson will.
He is a good NFL quarterback, but he's not gonna be the guy nobody has an answer for.
Do you think he'll retire a Raven?
No.
No. I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think they're gonna continue success. They're gonna make another AFC Championship game. I don't think he wins the Super Bowl.
I mean, the Bengals. Even John Harbaugh goes in his after game press conference. It was like they put something on defense we had no answer for. I mean, what everybody's doing now is they're taking Lamar Jackson, they're containing him and making him throw the ball, which he cannot do accurately.
13 of 28. I mean, that's less than 50%.
That's what people are saying. We're gonna drop 8. Our defensive linemen aren't gonna rush. They're gonna contain and throw the ball accurately and beat us. It's what they're doing.
It took a year, but teams have finally figured out how to beat Lamar.
I think it's going to continue.
And that's like
a snowball effect, and I think they go 10-6.
I know.
Think they repeat.
I know Cody's not a Colin Cowherd fan, but he said it perfectly. Like, you put enough on tape. I mean, these guys aren't NFL coaches for just because somebody likes them. I mean, they're you put enough on tape, somebody is going to give the answer to it. And once it's on tape, it's over with.
Yep. We got a Dolphins fan in the comments here, so we're going to jump down. We're going to talk Dolphins-Rams. Dolphins beat the Rams 28-17. Tua,
Yeah.
He didn't impress me.
Yeah, so that's what I have here.
yards.
So in my notes, I have Dolphins, Tua sucks, / Rams basically just had a major freaking meltdown. I mean,
so
a punt return touchdown, 4 turnovers.
The Dolphins defense have 2 interceptions, a fumble return for a touchdown, and then special teams have a punt
Yeah,
return
they had
for a
two-
touchdown. So
The Rams had 3 fumbles, 2 lost fumbles.
the offense with Tua at quarterback only produced 7 points.
Bring
Yeah.
Fitzpatrick back.
That was the super mind-boggling for me. I mean, I could not believe
It was
that.
mind-boggling, and it just hurt. Like it
To
just
see
hurt to see
Ryan
Fitzpatrick
yeah.
just devastated as a human, just beat down.
I
After the
mean-
performance he's put on, got the team to 3-3, a team that was not supposed to be 3-3
In
at
the
that
hunt
time.
for the playoffs.
As a guy that started for the Bengals for an entire season, I mean, Ryan Fitzpatrick is the bionic man. The dude can go in anywhere. And, I mean, he's a Harvard guy. He's smart. He can go in anywhere and make you decent.
He has so much heart and dedication.
He
to
just
football,
loves
to
the
any
game
team.
of
It does
football. Like,
not matter who he plays for, he is going to give you his all.
But
at
he's
all
a dude-
times.
dude is
It
hilarious.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's a dude that can throw 100 yards and 5 picks and then come out the next week and throw 5 touchdowns and 400 yards. And
he
look,
just loves the game of football.
So Kyle
and,
says, give our defense credit. #1 defense in points allowed per game. All that's what
Yeah.
So, yeah,
You've got
with
the
that
credit. We're
being
talking
said,
Tua Fitzpatrick, your offense.
can you name one defensive player
Brian
on
Flores
Miami?
is a hell of a coach, and he has the Dolphins set up with draft picks and stuff to be very, very good in the near future.
But you got to understand a little bit. Obviously, we like Fitzpatrick, Fitzmania. It's awesome. Fitzmagic. But Tua is the future. They made the change at the
I think
bye.
it was too early.
But
Yeah,
I think
I
it
agree.
was too early.
I think he's the guy that probably could have sat a year, personally.
I agree. And with the injury factor, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. We'll see what happens.
And
Another game.
I've read a lot of stuff that people are saying too. His height is becoming an issue and was an issue.
He's a short little fella. But
They
let's
say-
go on to the next game. The Bills 24-21 over the Patriots. Patriots fall to 2-5 on the season, the first time since 2000.
Cam had a fumble on the last drive.
They had a chance to win the game.
Yeah.
They had a chance to win the game. Cam Newton fumbles.
It goes back to what we were talking with Lamar. You know, they run a new offense. They have Cam. They set up the offense geared to him. You put it on tape for 2 or 3 weeks, and then it's
Yep.
like,
Well,
what are they doing?
In reality, Cam wasn't that impressive through the first few weeks either. The
He
team
really
was just-
touchdown passes.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not impressive. It's not.
No,
They
he
were
was
just
impressive
winning.
running the ball is what he was impressive.
Yeah.
The scheme they were putting in for him was good.
So here's something that I saw that I thought was pretty interesting. The Patriots sit at 2-5 right now. If Bill Belichick is smart, which he is,
They're going to lose.
they lose out, and 2 of those losses will be to the New York Jets, which would mean the Jets would have 2 wins, the Patriots would have 2 wins, but the Jets would have the tiebreaker. The Patriots would get the #1 pick in draft,
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence.
But it's like
You
that.
never know.
It's like that picture I sent you last night. It was like, that guy like Patriots 2-5, and his face drops, and it's Trevor Lawrence in a Patriots uniform. It's like,
Yeah,
here we go again.
it could happen. It could happen. I don't think it does happen, but it could.
No,
Colts-
they're too good. They're a 5 or
no,
6
they'll
win team.
win. They're going to beat the Jets.
Yeah.
And we get blessed next Monday. Jets, Patriots. What a ball game. But we got
I can't
Colts
wait.
41-21 over the Lions. I did not have this. An absolute beatdown by the Colts over the Lions. Naheem Hines did a 360 cartwheel
I
flip.
saw.
You guys see that? on
No,
his
I did
touchdown?
not.
Yeah, it was impressive.
It was very impressive.
Didn't
The
not
Colts-
perfect landing, but impressive.
The
Flip.
Colts are a better quarterback from being a Super Bowl contending team.
I agree. I think Darius Leonard on their defense he's a game changer. An absolute game
Well,
changer.
if you look at Philip Rivers' stats from last year to now, I mean they're a lot better.
They're better.
They're a lot better, but he at this point of his career, he's not a guy that's going to go win you a Super Bowl.
No, not at all.
Definitely a playoff team, but not
Defense
Super Bowl.
wins championships, boys, and they got a good defense.
They
so
do have a
you
good
never know.
defense.
Vikings 28-22 over the Packers. Another game I did not have. Dalvin Cook gets the ball 32 times for 226 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
We've already
4
talked about
touchdowns.
it though. It's
100
weather.
So here is my stat I was going to tell you guys. So Dalvin Cook is the first player in NFL history to score a team's first 3 touchdowns on his first 3 possessions.
I mean, he was phenomenal. He had 3 rushing touchdowns. He had 1 receiving touchdown.
Yeah, 163 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns, 63 receiving yards on
Yep.
2 receptions and a touchdown. That's
unbelievable.
a hell of a
the
day.
Packers defense, that's a problem.
no run D.
That is a problem that you need to figure out if you think you're going to go back to the NFC
I'm
Championship
sorry.
game.
Even if you're the Jets, whatever, there's no skill level difference in the NFL that says you should have that kind of yardage in the game. It's just not.
I hear you. Chiefs 35-9 over the Jets. The Jets suck. Mahomes 416 yards, 5 touchdowns. I mean, that was the story.
I got one for you on that too. Pat Mahomes had more touchdowns in the first half of that game than Sam Darnold has all year.
Yeah. Patrick Mahomes had more touchdowns in the game than the Jets have had all season. Patrick Mahomes, 5 touchdowns yesterday. The Jets on the season, 4 touchdowns.
That's insane. We are literally 8 weeks in, and they have 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, that is unbelievable.
And how I guess it's COVID, so they're not going to fire him in season, but his job, he knows he's done.
Yeah, he's out. I don't know what they're waiting
And
for,
he's been an awful coach everywhere. I don't understand how he keeps getting jobs.
Peyton Manning got him the job again and again. It is what it is. The Los Angeles Chargers blow the lead. They led 24-3 at one point.
Screwed me.
24-3 lead.
Chargers, first team in NFL history to be leading by 17 points 3 weeks in a row and lose
You're
3
just
games.
a history guy over here
What
today.
the stats? Drew comes in hot. 31-30 with the late touchdown, and obviously the extra point got them the lead. 31-30. I was shocked. I had the Chargers in this one. I think the Chargers and Justin Herbert is going to be a great quarterback. But they've got some holes.
My thing with Herbert is he's the big arm guy, and a lot of his yardage and passes, he literally just lobs up a deep ball.
Yeah.
And guys just miraculously come up with it.
Drew Lock, though.
Jeezy!
He likes to dance on the sidelines. I don't think he's a good quarterback, but
that one I sent you, somebody was like, the only good thing in the NFL Drew Lock's ever done is sing Young Jeezy on the sideline.
Yep. Game of the week, I think, in my opinion, is Saints OT win 26-23 over the Bears. It was a great game. Went to overtime, and we had punches thrown.
Yeah. I am not bought in on the Saints. I do not think the Saints. That's their
I
second.
don't think they're a playoff team.
That's their second overtime win.
Not only do you not buy in on the Saints, I don't buy in on the Bears. The Bears are 5-2, 5-3.
Can we all come to the grants? This is Drew Brees' last year. It has to be.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think this is last year, no matter what.
Yeah.
He's going to be NBC Sunday Night Football.
Winston, the
I mean,
future?
Drew Brees just isn't the same. There was I can remember 4 or 5 passes that should have been picked off he threw, and
he threw the one at the end to get him in field goal range that was just an absolute lob pass across the middle. He just got lucky. The guy was wide open. Javon Wills, though. Can we talk about Javon Wills?
Yeah, so the dude threw his mouthpiece on the ground.
So the guy, supposedly he spit on him.
I didn't see it. I don't think he did either.
He pulled his mouthpiece. He threw it on the ground. A couple plays later, Wills.
Not a couple. He was on the sideline for 5 plays.
So the video is just insane because you see Wills run over, grabs his chain, throws it on the ground, punches him one time, expects him to do something. He doesn't do anything.
Because the dude's
so
what the hell?
Punches him again. Yeah. And then it just turns into a little scruffle. And shout out to the dude for the Saints that had his teammates back. But I mean,
it was Janoris Jenkins.
What the hell was that?
Yeah, I don't think the dude hit him back because he was trying to figure out what was even going on.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
The first punch kind of missed. And then he's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
He just socks him again.
And
he has his helmet on.
Yeah, that is what I don't understand. Why do guys throw punches unless you're AJ Green and you're hitting Jalen Ramsey under the helmet and you're just wearing his ass out? Why are you're going to hurt your hand more than you hurt that dude?
He got fined and he got suspended for 2 games.
Without pay.
Obviously, yeah, no pay. So you cost yourself a bunch of money.
Big fine.
For what? For what?
Yeah, for a dude throwing your mouthpiece on the ground.
Seahawks,
that they don't wear anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Seahawks 37-27 over the San Francisco 49ers. Russell Wilson, 4 touchdowns.
Baby. Russ.
2 of them to DK Metcalf. He had 12 catches, 161 yards, and
dude
2 touchdowns.
He's the Terminator. He is the
Terminator.
Terminator.
The story of this one, though, obviously Russ is great, but the Niners take a huge hit. They're still 4-4. They're in it, but Garoppolo out.
You have
George
They're
Kittle
done.
out.
Bosa, out Raheem Mostert, out there. I mean, just
You could
devastated
not
by
have
injuries.
Worse of an injury story throughout.
And
the
the sad
season
part
than
is
the 49ers do.
Kyle Shanahan can still scheme a game with whoever he's
They're
got
still
on the
going to
field.
compete. Nick Mullins,
I think they'll compete,
Alright.
but they're not a playoff
they're
team
going to compete.
anymore.
They're not going to make the playoffs, obviously, without.
Well, that
Garoppolo
extra
and George
spot, they
Kittle.
might at being 4-4, but
It's possible. It's possible.
Nick Mullins rattled off some wins the last time he played. So
Your Sunday night football poop fest of the week. Eagles 23-9 over
Great,
the Cowboys.
great game.
I mean, these teams are both just bad at football, right?
The whole division's bad.
The whole division is bad at football.
The NFC East is so bad.
They are
so bad.
And I keep hearing this: the Eagles are getting healthy. They're going to go in their bye week. They're going to get
They've
healthy.
been saying that for a
They've been saying
year.
that forever. Carson Wentz is not good at football.
No.
He is a below-average quarterback. He cannot hold on to the ball. He wears that weird camo, whatever that thing was on his arm.
I had said something to Chelsea last night. I'm like,
Looks like he got
did Carson Wentz get a whole tattooed sleeve? And then I'm like, oh, he's just a douchebag with a sleeve on his arm.
Yeah, so that's week 8. Obviously, we've got Monday Night Football coming up. We're going to talk about that. Before we do that, we're going to look at the playoff picture. Obviously, I said the Browns, if they would have won the game, they'd have been in 5th place in the AFC in that first wild card spot. They lose, and with that loss in the bye week next week, they could potentially drop all the way down to 9th place.
Bengals finished 6-2, 8-7-1, make the playoffs. You heard it here first.
No, 8 wins do not get you into the playoffs. I think 9 is the lowest, and I think I want the Browns. If we can get to 10 wins, then we can get that 6th wild card spot and play either at Tennessee or at Buffalo. We can make some noise. If we get the 7th wild card spot, we go to Kansas City. Obviously, It is what it is. But just to make the playoffs is
Patrick Mahomes, like 20-something touchdowns, 1 pick. The dude he's unbelievable.
Unreal.
He's unbelievable. Matt doesn't like to agree, but
Matt will like this.
I won't disagree.
honestly,
I think Patrick Mahomes is great. So
with Kansas City, with how Andy Reid schemes it, Eric Bieniemy schemes it, how Patrick Mahomes plays, you beat them in a shootout. You're not going to stop them. You have to shoot out with them.
I got it written down here. Pitt or Kansas City? Who wins?
Pitt.
AFC Championship.
Kansas City.
It's in Pittsburgh. I mean, the fans, obviously, it is what it is. But Kansas City Steelers. I think that's where it's going to be. AFC Championship. It's going to be a great game. But honestly, I want Pittsburgh to win out because I want them to sit their starters week 17. I think that's what's going to be the difference in the Browns either making the playoffs or jumping up in the wild card race. And if we win, we can play not Kansas City.
With that being said, with Pittsburgh sitting their starters, who's our starting quarterback? Mason Rudolph or Duck?
Randolph.
Who would they
Duck
play
isn't
against?
on your roster. Duck
He
Hodges.
is.
I don't think so.
He is on our roster.
Is he on your practice squad? He's not on your active roster.
No, he's a practice squad. Man, it's Roethlisberger.
Yeah,
Rudolph,
so Mason Rudolph
Dobbs,
starts.
And then Duck is on the practice squad.
They did resign. I didn't know they resigned him to the practice squad. I saw that they released him.
But I don't see us starting Mason Rudolph.
Miles Garrett can bash Mason Rudolph's head like 2,100 more times before he runs out of money.
Exactly.
So I'd do it again.
It's going to come down to 2 spots in the AFC for the wild card. Obviously, Baltimore is probably going to get that 5th wild card spot. It's going to come down to the Browns, the Raiders, and the Colts for those last 3 teams, 2 spots for the playoffs.
I hate to say it, but I'm all in on the Raiders.
And that's what hurts the most about the loss to the Raiders because they now have a tiebreaker over us.
And from what I've seen, a lot of people are saying John Gruden just outcoached Stefanski in the game. I don't know how true that is.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
There's been multiple people I've seen
I've seen it too on Twitter, but I've seen that also. But like I said, I haven't watched any of the games.
Absolutely not. If it was not for those dropped passes, we win the game. I guarantee it. Dropped passes cost us the game. Anyways, we don't have the tiebreaker over the Raiders, obviously, but we do have the tiebreaker over the Colts, which is why I think we do get in. Colts have a very tough schedule down the stretch. So I think we do end up with that 7th, maybe the 6th wildcard spot. So we are halfway through the NFL season, 8 weeks in. We're going to give out some mid-season awards. So let's do that right here. Let's start with MVP. MVP of the National Football
I think we're all going to be unanimous here.
You think so?
Yep.
You guys got Ben Roethlisberger?
No, absolutely not. I've got one, Russell Wilson.
I have one, Russell Wilson.
And I already said it. No, I'm just joking. Russell Wilson.
Yeah, Russell Wilson, 2,100 yards, 26 touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
Well, he's also
the dude is
71% of his passes.
MVP, this is what I hate. MVP is not the best player.
It should be
It's
the most valuable player to their team. If Seattle has a Andy Dalton, average quarterback, they are not.
Well,
7-1.
I also think the MVP is the best quarterback in the NFL. I mean, it's always been a quarterback. But
so Russell Wilson, MVP of the Football League, Defensive Player of the Year.
So I have this as a coin flip of Myles Garrett, Aaron Donald.
And that is what it is right now. It's Aaron Donald, it's Myles Garrett.
Aaron Donald.
That's not what you have written
No,
down.
I tried. I sat there and looked at the stats and looked, but I couldn't. I had to go with Myles Garrett. I mean, 25 total tackles, 19 of those being solo, 9 sacks, 4 forced fumbles with 2 recoveries.
Yep, I got those same stats
Yeah,
written down right
yeah.
here. Yeah, 9 sacks. He's tied with Aaron Donald, and then he has the most pressures of any defensive player in the league. And Connor just tossed me his phone here. He wants me to throw out his stats as well. He's also got Russell Wilson. He also has Myles Garrett for MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. Now let's look at Offensive Player of the
I think this
Year.
is where it'll get interesting.
This is where it's going to get interesting. I didn't know who to pick for this. This one was tough. Go ahead, Drew. Who you got?
So I have a slash here as well. So offensive player of the year is not the MVP. It's your best offensive player. It's either Patrick Mahomes, because nobody's having the season he has,
Yep.
or it's Derrick Henry.
I was between those two, Patrick Mahomes or Derrick Henry. I went Derrick Henry. He has 775 yards. That is the most in the NFL. He has 8 touchdowns. That is the second most in the NFL. He is dominant. You give him the football, he is going to dominate.
And watching him in person, he is literally so big, he falls for 3 yards.
He is so big. And Connor, same thing. Connor has 3 players for Offensive Player of the Year: Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson,
Pick the whole goddamn NFL.
and Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook is a sleeper for Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, but he missed
he
those
is a
games,
monster.
so that hurts.
So I have DeAndre Hopkins.
What?
I
We're not even
I
let
mean,
you
he's-
elaborate
he's
there.
averaging 12 yards of reception, 704 yards, 57 receptions with 3 touchdowns.
He's great. No, I hear you. He's great. But he's
No,
not
the
Offensive
best
Player of
thing
the Year.
ever is when Kyler sees him man on man down the sideline, and he literally laughs before he throws the ball.
In the next one, we've got Rookie of the Year. If we don't have all of the same on this one, I'll think you're watching the same game.
Chase Claypool.
No. Joe Burrow, is
Joe
the
Burrow.
Rookie of the Year. I believe they do offensive rookie and defensive rookie. I didn't look into the defensive side. I think Joe Burrow is the Rookie of the Year.
I have, just for the record, I have Burrow too.
He's just a leader. To be voted captain of the football team your rookie year.
You know,
literally
he's the
put the team on your
first
back.
rookie quarterback ever to be elected as the captain.
Joe Burrow is.
If you're a Bengals fan, you have to be excited. You have to be.
You can't not be. I mean, you cannot. Be excited about Joe Burrow.
And as the last 10 years, as everybody's seen, is Andy Dalton. It's like watching literally a whole different football game. I mean, he is so dynamic, and he creates plays, which Andy Dalton's the guy, as soon as he got pressure, he's throwing the ball out of bounds. 3rd and 10, it's like...
Yep.
I mean, but a close second, Chase Claypool. It's on that.
No. All right. Next thing we got for you guys is the surprise team of the year and the disappointing team of the year.
Can we go defensive rookie of the year? Do you have a...
I don't have anybody.
It's Winfield from Tampa. It's got to be.
He's been good. If Chase Young could stay healthy and was on a better football team, it'd probably be him. But
Winfield from Tampa's got to be
he's played very
defensive
well.
rookie of the
Very
year.
well. Surprise team of the year. I've got Matt's Pittsburgh Steelers because I did not have them being 7-0 to start the season. I thought they were going to be a 500 football team, 9-7 at best. I thought Ben was washed up. I thought he was done. And he hasn't played great. He has not played spectacular.
He has
can't
not,
say that he has.
But he's played better than...
Coaching and defense is what has got you to 7-0.
Yeah.
There's no argument about it. Your defense is unbelievable.
And if you ask Ben why he chose to come back, I think that was one of the reasons. With the defense Pittsburgh has and the offensive weapons that he can use to win games, I mean...
100%.
Yeah, my surprise team of the year is the Cardinals.
They look good. That's a good one, actually. Them beating Seattle last week put them into that spot.
So I have 2. I also have the Cardinals, and then I have the Colts. I didn't think the Colts were going to be 5-2.
They're 5-2.
They shouldn't be.
But if you look at their schedule upcoming, they'll finish 8-8, 9-7 at best. They have a really tough schedule.
But I'm saying if it ended today, they
Yeah,
would be...
but-
You're right.
But,
They've
I mean...
got-
I know that they beat the Bengals, but if you look back at the game, the Bengals completely beat them. I mean, the Bengals put it on them.
The Bengals have
The
kinda
Bengals
held in with everybody.
Yeah, the only game
Bengals
we haven't
could
been.
easily be 5-2 right
Yeah.
now. 5-3, 6-2.
The Bengals, I don't know. Have
They've
you guys
lost
been
a
blown
lot of
out?
close games.
Baltimore.
They got blown out by Baltimore. But
And that wasn't even the defense. That was the offense. They just couldn't produce.
you said the Colts. The Colts 5-2. They look great. They've got 2 against the Titans. They've got Baltimore next week, and they have Pittsburgh,
No, I
and they have
agree.
another
I'm just-
couple of tough
That's
games.
if
still
that
coming
ended
up.
today.
Right.
That would be my pick.
Right.
You see this? ESPN owners to hear 16-team playoff idea. I'd like that a lot.
My disappointment, I don't know what you guys have, but I'm going to go with the Patriots.
4 division champs,
so disappointing
4
team.
wild card teams in each conference. I'd like that a lot, actually.
All right.
That would be interesting. But disappointment team of the week. Disappointing of the season thus far. 8 weeks into the season, I've got 2. The Cowboys, obviously disappointing.
Yeah.
They lost Dak. That's a disappointment for them. And Mike McCarthy, the Dolan, the
looks
coordinator.
incompetent.
What are you guys doing?
Looks,
are you guys watching film? Are you guys trying to get better?
Mine was the Dallas from there, but from Dallas last year, their defense was so good last year.
There should not be that much of a drop-off between Dak Prescott and Andy Dalton.
But no, even their defense last year was elite, literally elite. And this year it's like
32nd in the NFL. Or maybe 31st for the Jets, but bad.
It's like,
bad,
what
bad.
are they even? Like last night we were sitting at, I think Matt said something like, do they even like know what they're doing?
Connor Chaparr's team was also the Cardinals. His disappointment, same as me. Texans and Dallas.
Texans too. I didn't even think about them.
I forgot they were
they
even
fired
existed.
their head coach. They made it to the AFC Championship game last year. Did they make the AFC Championship game or was it the divisional round? Divisional round?
Deshaun Watson has not impressed this year either.
No, not at all. He also has no weapons, and that's who the Browns have coming out of the bye.
Yeah,
so it'll be interesting.
Arizona, Cliff Kingsbury, shout out to you, bro. You just raped Bill O'Brien for DeAndre Hopkins for David Johnson straight up.
Yep. All right, so we talked a little bit of playoff picture. Super Bowl prediction right now, 8 weeks through the season. Super Bowl. Who you got, Matt?
Repeat of Super Bowl 40. Seahawks, Steelers, Pittsburgh wins.
Really?
I'm sticking with my original one, which we can go back and we need to make a clip of. Kansas City, Seattle.
Connor has Tampa Bay and Pittsburgh. Tampa Bay playing tonight, Monday Night Football. We're going to talk about that.
Just waiting for Connor to have like 2 AFC teams or something.
Pittsburgh Ravens.
I think at the beginning of the season I had Chiefs, Saints. The Saints, they don't look good. Michael Thomas' situation is just weird. I've got Chiefs, Seahawks. I think Russ is just going to put the team on his back. They don't have a great defense, so I don't know if they win the Super Bowl. However, Russ is just so damn good.
The Chiefs, I don't see. Pittsburgh defense is good, but I don't see them. I think I would bet my life savings that the AFC Championship game is Pittsburgh Kansas
Chiefs.
City.
Lock it in right now. I guarantee it.
But I just don't see them with their offense, how they've been so far. Their defense is the best in the league. I would not attest that whatsoever, but I don't think they could score with Kansas City.
I agree. Let's talk Monday Night Football. The game's getting ready to kick off here soon. Giants, Buccaneers in New York.
Giants win, baby. No, fuck that.
Tampa by 30.
Tampa Bay, I think they win. I got 29-19. Bucks win. Giants cover.
I can't. This has been a hard one for me. I cannot decide on the spread here. 13 is a lot in the NFL. The Tampa Bay is coming into their own recently. I mean, they beat the hell out of Green Bay. But at the same time, this is one of those games that Tom Brady's just not good against the Giants.
I don't know. We'll see what
I
happens.
wanted to say Eli, but it's not Eli. But
let's look ahead. Week 9, not a very exciting week for us at least. Browns, Bengals, both on a bye. What are we gonna do?
Drink.
We're gonna drink. Obviously, we're gonna watch football. I told my wife, Browns and Bengals are both on a bye week next week. She's like, "Oh, what are we gonna do?" I said, "Well, there's still 10 other games on we can watch. Like, we're still gonna watch football. What do you mean?
I know Chelsea's like, we can do this at the house. I'm like, no, dude.
We're still watching football. Calm down now.
Who's Pittsburgh have?
Pittsburgh is at the Cowboys, so we'll get Matt's
that's going to
opinion
be
on
a
that when he
fucking
gets back.
beat down.
It's going to be beat down. It's not going to be close. Thursday night football potentially was going to be a good one, but with the injuries to the Niners, Green Bay, San Francisco, I think Green Bay runs away.
What do you say that spread is? I bet you it's at least 10.
Well, it's at San Francisco. I would say it's probably going to be Green Bay minus 7.5.
I'd hammer that.
Look it up.
I would hammer it. How about UC? Let's spin it, dude. UC is looking great.
If you want to talk college football, the Bearcats look great, 5-0, number 7 in the country. So.
Do you see Justin Fields is now, as far as Vegas is concerned, the favorite for Heisman?
Absolutely.
I don't know about that. Trevor Lawrence not playing, maybe that helps.
It just came across the bottom of the screen. Trevor Lawrence no longer Heisman favorite. I mean, you have 2 games with no stats now.
Yeah, I hear you. Matt, Steelers, Cowboys.
Steelers by at least 25.
I bet you that might be a 20-point spread like the Chiefs-Jets.
Yeah.
Literally.
I don't think it'll be 20. I think it's probably 14.
I
I'd
say
hammer
it's-
that. I would
I-
hammer that.
Yeah, that with the Cowboys defense.
With the way Danucci played last night, they're gonna freaking murder
dude,
that
the
dude.
TikToks on that guy
Yeah.
are killing me.
His girlfriend's hot though.
Well, you
Do you
think
see his
Andy Dalton?
girlfriend?
No,
Andy
I
Dalton
did
will
not.
be back. You don't think he'll be
He
back?
might be.
Yeah, he probably will be.
You got a spread on that game, Car? Another good game next week. Seattle travels East Coast to the Bills. That's a 1 o'clock game. That's gonna be
So
good.
as you know, I was all in on the Bills, all in on Josh Allen as a front runner for the MVP behind Russell Wilson, but I think Seattle runs away
The last
with it.
three-
Cody and I
Yeah.
were talking that Saturday. I was like, dude, the past 3 weeks the Bills have not impressed.
They don't
They
look
took
good
a
at all.
dump.
They don't look good at all.
Another game to tune into: Baltimore Ravens at the Colts. Should be a good one. I think the Ravens probably end up winning. by 10.
For our sake, I hope Colts pull it off, but I think Ravens will.
Honestly, not for my sake because
Well,
I need
you
the
got
Colts
you
to
got
lose.
yeah.
The
I'm rooting
Ravens have
Baltimore.
two.
I
For
need
my
Baltimore.
sake, I hope
I need
Colts
Baltimore to lose,
win.
So
The Ravens are what 6-2 now, right?
Yeah,
5-2.
Or
Baltimore,
5-2.
yeah.
Because they had a bye. So yeah, because they lost Chiefs Pittsburgh, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Another Sunday night football. This is a treat right here. Saints Bucks.
Bucks
And
by
Bucks by a
Bucks
million.
by at least 10.
Yeah.
The spread was 10. I
I'll
would
put
go
money
Tampa.
on that. I think it's close. I think
I-
it's close.
I don't
Michael
think so.
Thomas.
The Saints defense, for as good as I thought they would be, their defense sucks.
Their defense is
You got
terrible.
the Green
Tampa's
Bay-
defense.
So Thursday night football, Green Bay by 3. Oh, I'm about to unload the pancake now. Are you kidding me?
Against who?
The Niners.
What'd you get? Is
On
it on
what?
The
Bovada?
banged up Niners. Thursday night football.
I'll give you $1,000 to put on that right now.
Are you lock it in right now? If you're watching, if you're listening, what'd you say?
On Action Network.
On Action Network right now, anywhere you can bet. If you can bet, pound the Packers -3. They lost last week. They're gonna be hot. They're gonna be
Thank
they're gonna
us
be
later.
ready to play. The Niners are banged up. Nick Mullins at quarterback. I don't care if Shanahan is the coach or not. Pound the Packers -3 on Thursday
No
night.
doubt
That line
your
is
boys
gonna.
have it.
I guarantee from now to kickoff, that line jumps at least
Yeah.
to 7.
So Bovada has completely taken it off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
because of the
a.
injuries.
Yeah, it's
so
off the
I
board.
say it would be a
I said
10-point
7
game.
and
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
they-
what
because
I'd
it's a
say
road
10. I say it's a
I
Green
say
Bay's
10.
probably 10.
All right, Monday Night Football, poop game of the week. The Patriots and the Jets. I mean, come on.
Patriots by 2.
When are we going to learn that we can flex games? Like, why can we not move a 4 o'clock Sunday game to
They
Monday?
flex
Why
Pi-
can we not do that?
3 weeks early, they flexed Pittsburgh,
Like, you
Cincinnati,
can
the
look at the
fourth.
schedule
Which
right now.
actually, I mean, I'm not saying you guys are probably going to beat us pretty handily, but with the way we've played, it looks a lot better than what it did.
I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I think with the way Burrow's offense, the way he's leading the
I
offense,
say you guys beat us
but-
by probably 10, but
Like, why-
it's a lot more competitive than it would have been 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Why can't you
agree.
look at the schedule from even 2-3 weeks from now and look at, all right, that's Monday Night Football. That's probably not a good game. We should probably move this. Like, why not? Why
well,
can't
just
we-
like this week, the Ravens-Baltimore game, I feel
At
like should
1
have been
o'clock.
flexed.
Absolutely
The
ridiculous.
Ravens Baltimore game?
The Ravens versus Baltimore, yeah. No, the Ravens versus Steelers should have been
Yeah,
flexed.
no, absolutely. All the AFC North games are at 1 o'clock. That game should have been flexed.
Yep. All right, that's all we got for you guys. That's this week's live Cavemen Media Sports Show. If you missed any part of the show, make sure you can go to YouTube tomorrow. Connor will have that uploaded, and you can watch the full show. We appreciate you guys for following along. Go Browns.
Go Steelers.
Who dey?